Good morning, Wildcats! I hope that you are enjoying Hattie Big Sky so far. I thought I would hop on today to give you a few announcements and also help you through one of the next assignments with Hattie Big Sky. So, first announcement. You want to make sure that you turn in your Week 20 vocabulary assignment by today. You have until midnight to do that. But don't procrastinate. Get it done early. So the vocabulary story is on the Week 20 words. On Monday, I posted a PowerPoint, or rather Google Slides presentation of those words with a video that explains them too. So you want to get those done. Make sure you follow the rubric. Okay, make sure you pay attention to that. And when you're done, you want to turn it in on turnitin.com. If for some reason you can't turn it into turnitin.com, you should be able to because we've used that all year long. You should know your username and password by now. But if not, if you don't remember those, your computer is just not allowing you to turn it in on turnitin.com, just email me or Student Square me, reach out to me some way through Google Classroom even, that's fine too, and let me know and I will upload it for you. But it needs to be done via Google Classroom so that I can upload it. Okay, second announcement. Last week I had you look at figurative language that other students had written, and then you had to read the statement and decide what type of figurative language it was. So some of you, I've turned those back to you 2 times, 3 times now, and I'm asking you to make corrections. So if you still have answers incorrect on that assignment and they are highlighted in red and I've resubmitted it to you again to correct, please make sure that you do that by midnight today. I'm going to make today the last chance to make corrections, so make sure that you fix all those things. If you're not sure how to fix one of those and you still can't figure it out, you've tried a couple times and you still have the wrong answer, I am offering today office hours, as I'm going to call them, on Google Meet. So if you have questions about the vocabulary story, if you have questions about how to do the figurative language assignment and how to get the correct answers because you're still getting them wrong, or if you have questions about the Chapter 2 assignment that I am talking about today, feel free to hop on. Again, that's from 10 to 12 today. The link that I provided yesterday will still work. I also copied and pasted that same link today. So the way that works is basically you just log on to the Google Meet with that web link that I've given you, and then I will answer any questions that you have. So it's not a class session. It's basically just an opportunity for you to reach out to me and ask any questions that you have. Okay, those are my announcements. So in Chapter 1, we learned that Hattie is an orphan who has been living with her Aunt Ivy and Uncle Holt, and she is presented with a unique opportunity. She receives a letter that was written by her uncle, who has now passed away, that is basically willing to her or leaving to her his claim out in Montana. So she is his heir, and we talked about that word heir in the Andrew Carnegie unit, meaning she's inheriting his property after he's passed away. So she makes the decision to go because she doesn't want to stay with Aunt Ivy anymore, and furthermore, she doesn't want to work in a boarding house for Iantha Wells. So she receives that letter. She writes back saying that she is going to go, and then a woman named Paralee Mueller writes her back and says that she will help her and she will be her neighbor and also gives her some advice. So if you remember from Chapter 1, Paralee says to grab your hat and grab your cat and head out west. Okay, you actually don't need to grab your hat or grab a cat. That was just something that Paralee had said in Chapter 1. What you will want to grab is your book, and if you have some Post-it notes, maybe some of those instead. Okay, I'm going to take you back to this classwork page and just review with you some of those announcements that I made. So here is the Day 1 vocabulary letter, and attached to that are the video, the slides, and the assignment. So the video explains to you how to use those words. The slides just show you those same slides again with examples of the words if you don't need my explanation of them. And the Week 20 vocab letter is here. And if you open that up, I just want to remind you again that there are directions at the top, as well as at the bottom, you will see that there is a rubric. So make sure you follow that rubric carefully. That tells you how to get the most amount of points. And you will want to upload that to turnitin.com. Turnitin.com is where you want to go for that. Again, let me know if you have problems with turnitin.com. Okay, next thing is to correct the figurative language assignment. Again, you did this last week. I've graded them. Some of you have graded them multiple times. You want to open it up. Okay, the ones that are highlighted in red, you want to fix and resubmit. So that is that assignment. Okay, Day 2, if for some reason you did not take the Chapter 1 quiz, you want to do that ASAP and I will correct your grade. I put zeros in for those of you who didn't do it, but I will give you an opportunity to go back and fix that. All right, today's assignment that I want to talk about the most is the Chapter 2 assignment. It is right here. So it says, please preview the Chapter 2 assignment, read Chapter 2, and then complete activities 1, 2, and 3. And I will be available again from 10 till noon today on Google Meet. This is the link that you want to click on to go there. And if you have still not picked up your books, you can access Chapter 2 at this link. Today you will be able to go and get your books. There's another opportunity to do that at the high school office from 8 till noon. You are going to need your book next week for sure. So if you still haven't picked them up and you don't have a way to pick them up, please make sure that you explain that to me, and I will send you a copy of the book in the mail. Okay, let's open this up and see what we need to do. All right, you want to put your name here. This is worth 20 points, and again, these activities have to do with Chapter 2. So this says you want to complete Activity 1 below before reading Chapter 2. Then I want to preview Activity 2 and 3, so I know what to look for as I read. And then I want to read Chapter 2 and find evidence for my answers for Activities 2 and 3. And again, this is, if you have post notes, that might help you out to keep track of those. And then I'm going to type my answers to 2 and 3. So the first thing is to compare and contrast. So the railroad companies often created pamphlets that encourage people to move out west to become homesteaders. You want to use this link that will take you to an actual pamphlet that railroads put out to people to encourage them to move west. And then you want to answer the questions below. It is not necessary that you read the entire pamphlet. I know some of it's pretty small print, a little bit hard to see, but I mainly want you to look at the pictures and the captions. So you're going to contrast, that means to find the differences between the Edpuzzle video that we watched on homesteading with the railroad pamphlets depiction of homesteading. And then you're going to complete the following chart. So Edpuzzle's depiction of homesteading, one thing that was a problem is that locusts were devouring their crops. There were multiple other problems that homesteaders faced that you want to list over here. The railroad pamphlets, however, are going to depict homesteading as being easier and, having the ability to make you rich, okay? And it seems like it's, so fun and awesome. So on page 17, you want to put the page number where you see these two. The farmers fill boxes with peaches they have harvested. So there's lots of them. Then you also have a couple other blanks where I'd like you to look at a few other pictures, a few of the pages, and list some other things that you see that makes homesteading look easy. So after you've completed these, I want you to think about this question. Why would the railroad companies promote or advertise homesteading and make it seem glorious and easy, when in reality we know that it's not like that? So why are they deceiving people? Okay, then you want to read Chapter 2. And you want to look for these things as you read Chapter 2. So in Chapter 2, there are many warning signs to Hattie that homesteading is not going to be as easy as she thinks or as easy as the railroad pamphlets make it seem. So I want you to quote 3 passages from this chapter and explain how each shows that homesteading may be more difficult than she thought. So I have a chart for you where you can do that. So you want to put your quote here. Make sure you put a tag in front of it like Larson writes or Hattie says, something like that, comma after it. And include the page number at the end. Okay, so you put your quote in quotations, page number at the end. If you have a quote within a quote, you want to put a beginning double quotation mark and then a single quotation mark around what's inside the quote. Your explanation of how that quote warns Hattie about the difficulties of homesteading. Use complete sentences. So here, you want to make sure that you are typing an explanation of how this quote over here is warning her that homesteading may not be that easy. And then characterization. So I want you to think about Hattie and then 2 of the other characters that were in this book that are minor characters. So before she exits the train, Hattie says to the fat man this quote, okay, and I want you to explain at least 2 traits we can infer about Hattie from this quote and why. And you want to write 3 to 4 complete sentences. If you're having trouble thinking of traits or what it demonstrates about her, or you just have it on the tip of your tongue but you can't come up with the word, there's this list right here that I've given you before in class of character traits that you can look at. And then there's another activity like that where I'd like you to write 3 to 4 sentences that answer, why the fat man and the cowboy's actions show that they have bad manners. So you want to think about that, answer here, make sure you're using evidence from the text, not just making stuff up. Okay, and then you submit that to Google Classroom when you are done. All right, I hope you enjoy Chapter 2, and I hope you enjoy looking at that railroad pamphlet. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to meet me on Google Meet. I will have office hours there today from 10 till noon. And have a wonderful spring break if I don't talk to you again between now and then.